Alright, so today, in this video, we're gonna talk about LESSERAFIM's upcoming single album. More specifically, the teaser video that they dropped for Spaghetti, featuring jhope of BTS, and the emotional backstory behind Pearlies, the track number 2. Pearlies, My Oyster is a World. Okay, so we're gonna break down the visuals, performance clues, and lyrics meanings hidden in the Spaghetti teaser, including the cheeky way the group turns, I interpret it as like turning hate into power. Okay, then we will look at how Pearlies, the second song, connects deeply to LESSERAFIM, specifically Huh Yunjin's own words from their concert. Easy, crazy, hot concert that held in Korea before they went on a world tour. And why this comeback carries such a personal message. I've been listening to the highlight medleys like on a repeat. And I cannot even count. Alright, so let's start with an article that I have found. Actually, I don't need to show you the writings. Oh, I can show you the credit listing. So yeah, LESSERAFIM revealed a teaser for the music video of their first single title, Spaghetti, featuring jhope of BTS on October 22nd. The video opens with the members cooking spaghetti at a food truck. At first, they wear blank expressions, seemingly uninterested in anything but the task at hand. But in the next scene, they're suddenly dancing in the crowd, radiating a carefree, playful vibe. The energy builds as people go wild to get a taste of their spaghetti. So I'm gonna do like a shot-by-shot breakdown for this teaser video. The teaser also gives a brief look at the performance, which quickly grabs attention. So right here, right? During the line, 이빨 사이낀 spaghetti, 빼고 싶니 bon appetit, the 5 members wave their fingers and bounce their shoulders in a fun, cheeky choreography that fits the quirky lyrics. Even in the short clip, their clever moves make the performance stand out, raising anticipation for the full stage. So, here's a credit list for Spaghetti. Title track, produced by 13, Hitman Bang, nice, Federico Vinver, so there are a lot of artists, and Jian Stone, Tobias Winkhorn, sorry if I have butchered the pronunciation of your names. So those are producers, and there are lots of writers, including jhope. And I have a feeling that jhope is featuring a rapper, so he will likely contribute a rap verse. I think that's what's going on. So this shows that he wrote his own lyrics for his verse. And then it also shows Huh Yunjin and Sakura as writers as well. Probably, who written their own lyrics and maybe melodies as well, as a top liner, and Hitman Bang. And I wonder, Yunjin is such a great writer, but Sakura wrote that killer line for Crazy, right? I'm a otaku bestie. So I'm quite excited about, what kinds of lyrics she came up with this time. So here's a full lyrics of the Spaghetti highlights that they revealed through highlight platter. 이빨 사이낀 spaghetti, 빼고 싶니 bon appetit, 그냥 포기해 어차피, eat it up, eat it up. 머리 쏟긴 SSERAFIM, bad bitch in between your teeth, 그냥 포기해 어차피, eat it up, eat it up. So translated as, spaghetti stuck between your teeth. You want to get it out? Bon appetit. Just give up. What's the point anyway? Eat it up, eat it up. SSERAFIM stuck in your head. Bad bitch in between your teeth. I love that line. It goes something like, bad bitch in between your teeth. And then it goes, just give up. What's the point anyway? 그냥 포기해 어차피, eat it up, eat it up. Oh man, I seriously cannot count how many times I've listened to this brief, like 4-second track over and over again. So addictive. I'm so excited. And let's talk about the teaser video. By the way, let me spaghetti 150분 patty 그냥 포기해 어차피. Oh, the sound is so good. Alright, so let's talk about the teaser video. I'm gonna do like a shot-by-shot analysis. So it opens with quite an interesting visual, right here. The members, the LESSERAFIM members, Kazuha and Sakura and Yunjin. I love their hair, especially Sakura. That's a wig. Sakura told her fans in one of the behind-the-scenes videos. And Kazuha's hair is also pretty short. Anyways, they are standing in a tight food truck kitchen, right? Dressed in red racing-style outfits with blank expressions. Sakura is pouring something on a frying pan, and Yunjin is like cutting a carrot, I think. And Zua is making noodles, right? And yeah, they're quietly cooking spaghetti. And the red and like gray lighting, kind of ish. So it creates a contrast that immediately makes the scene feel stylized rather than realistic. And then a quick zoom blur happens. Then the camera cuts to a wide shot from outside the truck and showing two people watching them. And this kind of frames the members like performers behind the glass window. Check this out. And there are LESSERAFIM logo stickers all over these kitchenware. And making it clear that what looks like casual cooking is actually part of a show, right? This frame. I love this frame. And these opening shots build attention, right? They start off detached and controlled like this. Then subtly push toward a more energetic, playful tone that will follow, matching the song's cheeky concept. So the next sequence takes a sharp turn from the quiet kitchen scene to a super loud, crowded party. I think this is Yunjin, and I think this is Eunche. Is this right? Is this Eunche with blue hair? Anyways, so this is a party scene, and the lighting gets darker, interestingly, and the camera moves closer to the crowd, right? Making everything feel a lot more chaotic and alive. And the people are laughing, dancing, and moving freely. Here's Chaewon with orange hair and Za. And the overall mood is super loose and a little wild. Maybe, very wild. And the styling is bold in terms of like heavy makeup, like color schemes, and dramatic hair. We can talk about hair for a long time. And strong, expressive outfits. And it's not a polished or staged party at all. It has this vibe of a spontaneous underground club, right? So the contrast with the earlier shots is pretty intentional. What was calm and kind of stiff and restrained is now loud and expressive. Now, one detail that stood out was the close-up of a drag performer eating spaghetti later, right here. Yeah, let's talk about this. What does the earring say? Nana. It says Nana in the earring. So it's exaggerated and quite playful, tying the spaghetti theme back in, but in a very cheeky, over-the-top way, right? So I think this feels like the point where the concept fully opens up, mixing humor potentially and camp and confidence as a performance. So it's setting up a world where spaghetti is more of a symbol, probably, fun, messy, bold, and rebellious at the same time. So I love this. And then the energy in this part of the teaser shifts again, right here. This time from wild party scenes to something more playful and chaotic, right? Right here, it starts with quick cuts of people's feet moving in sync, setting a fast rhythm. And these sneakers are super colorful. We see like orange or pink and green, neon green sneakers and loose movements. It gives it like a street dance vibe, right? Like everyone's part of a one big spontaneous routine. And the camera then pans up to show a crowd running toward the food truck. And their faces are bright and excited. And the lighting here is much kind of warmer and more colorful than earlier scenes, making everything feel super loud and alive. And the food truck right here, who are standing here? I think this is Chaewon and this is Za, right? So it turns into the center of the action. Like people's hands shoot up, reaching for spaghetti trays, and the members are shown tossing and handing out food like it's part of a performance. And look at these guys. Are they feeding each other spaghetti? Crazy. And yeah, here we go. One of the members drawing spaghetti. And the sauce splattering. Actually, this is... No, is this Chaewon or Sakura? No, sorry. Eunchae. Oh, it's actually Eunchae. And so we see spaghetti sauce splattering, and the messy eating scenes, like before, are very intentional. It's playful, a bit absurd, maybe, and full of motion. Right here. So these shots really drive home the concept of the teaser, right? It's not a clean or serious setting. It's about creating a kind of chaotic fun where like food and music collide in an almost festival-like moment. Kind of reminds me of the song Crazy, the concept of Crazy within their, the 3-song trilogy, Easy, Crazy, Hot. But it's kind of different. So everything, the lighting, the movement, the camera angles, pushes the idea of like letting go and enjoying the mess. And then we can talk about the final stretch of the teaser. The chaos from earlier gets replaced by slick choreography of the members. First of all, the shot of the knife that Eunchae is throwing across the room. Actually, it's a red room. I think she's at a yoga classroom, but the walls are red, and there's a palm tree outside the window. Of course, it's part of a painting or wall paint, and then there are massage balls, stretch balls, the yoga balls, right? And there are foam rollers. Man, I cannot wait to watch the video. So she throws this knife, spinning through the air, and it's a big tonal shift, and we see a LESSERAFIM logo right here. I love that logo. And there's clean background, and focus on this blade makes it feel more theatrical. And then the shot of the knife spinning through the air, I think that's quite interesting. Then comes the close-up of the eyes of Sakura, bathed in warm orange light, and you can actually see the blade, the knife, reflected in her pupils. So that's super cool, and it's intense and controlled, right? Like a sudden lock in after all the messy fun that happened a few seconds ago. Right after that, we see the members step onto a bright metallic stage. Check this out, in their red outfits, and the choreography here kicks in. It's super sharp and it's super bold. That masks the beat. I love the beat, and it contrasts with the loose, chaotic crowd scenes earlier, right? And the lighting here is clean and saturated with the flashy, almost like arcade-like set design. Check this out. So this is super cool. And it gives the performance section a very deliberate and stylized look. You know what I'm saying? And the close-up of the... so here, they do the chorus, right? Probably chorus, I think. And I love the... this part is for Eunchae. And the last shot is this, right? And their expression, facial expressions, showing off their grills. That's so cool. And the close-up of the metal skewer against Kazuya's lips. Is this Kazuya? I'm not sure if it's... Yeah, I think it's Kaza. I thought, yeah, it's definitely Kaza because Cheon is wearing orange hair. So metal skewer against the lips with the grills catching the lights. Bing! It feels like a kind of deliberate wink at the audience. It's, again, playful and bold and completely self-aware. So the last sequence pulls everything together, right? It takes a messy, chaotic energy from the earlier scenes and flips it into something sharp and iconic. So, it's clean, confident, and cool, and perfectly wrapping up the concept that they've been building toward. So, great job, LESSERAFIM and Team Source Music. Now, let's talk about the lyrics again, because even the song title, I feel like, Spaghetti, it ties everything together, because if you think about it, spaghetti is tangled and messy. Just like how, his my interpretation, just like how haters can get wrapped up in their own obsession. It's not a clean or polished image. That is something that sticks and something you cannot ignore once it's there. So the lyrics, 이빨 사이에 낀 spaghetti stuck between your teeth. I think it captures that feeling. It's uncomfortable and irritating, the kind of thing that you want to get rid of quickly. So in this context, I think it could be a clever metaphor. Of course, we need to look at the full lyrics, but I think it could be a clever metaphor for haters who cannot stop thinking about the group, no matter how much they might want to. You know what I'm saying? And the next line, 배고픔니 bon appetit. Want to get it out? Bon appetit. Is almost teasing. It's like they are saying, if it bothers you so much, just eat it up. It's super bold and playful response that turns the discomfort around. And then the next line, 그냥 포기해 어차피, 그냥 포기해 어차피. Just give up. What's the point anyway? It shows how unfazed these members are. No matter what's thrown at them, whether it's spaghetti or hatred, they're not affected. And then that iconic line, eat it up, eat it up. It drives that point home, right? Because they're not backing down or fighting back. They are just telling the haters to deal with it because they are here to stay. And my favorite line so far, bad bitch in between your teeth. That flips the script completely because they're not the ones being annoyed. The haters are, right? So the group is already lost in their heads like something they cannot shake off. So yeah, I feel like overall, so far, based on the highlights that we have been fed with, the lyrics feels like a witty and self-assured clapback almost. Instead of, responding with anger or defensiveness, they're doing it with humor and swagger and control. So super bold, playful, confident, and perfectly on brand for LESSERAFIM, I feel like. Now, and I cannot wait to hear the verse from jhope. Yeah. Speaking of jhope once said in an interview that he only collaborates with artists that he really, likes and enjoys. So yeah, this collaboration is gonna be something. Now, the upcoming release, which they will drop on October 24th, will include 2 tracks. So the title song is gonna be Spaghetti, featuring jhope of BTS, and another track is Pearlies, with My Oyster is the World. So that's in a bracket or parentheses. So this is a B-side, and it's a disco pop track with the light rhythmic groove and bright vocals, according to Source Music. And here's a credit list. It's super simple. So produced by 444 Boy, written by Maze, 444 Boy, Sophia K, and Huh Yunjin. And the chances are Yunjin contributed the lyrics, if not all of the lyrics. So it's actually a fan song dedicated to FEARNOT, the fandom name, who have supported LESSERAFIM all along. And the idea, according to Source Music, came from what Huh Yunjin said during their world tour. So at their Incheon concert in April, she expressed her hope to create a pearl of her own and promised to protect the fans who walked through the process with her. So I'm gonna read the letter that she read. I actually made a video about it 6 months ago, and I have translated as well. Wow, at the time, the BTS members still haven't discharged from the military. Man, time flies, ain't it? April 22nd, that's when I uploaded this video. Now, let's look at the lyrics first. When I first heard the song, from the highlight platter, I almost cried. So here's the lyrics. I'm incomplete without you now. 반쪽짜리, just hear me out. 나의 가치를 알아봐 주면서 넌 날 구해준 거 알아. What is real, 내겐 진짜란 것이 답 없이 울리는 메아리. 외쳐 난 또 수백 번씩. Translated as, I'm incomplete without you now. Half of me, just hear me out. So I'm just half of me without you. And then it says, you saw my worth. 나의 가치를 알아봐 주면서. You saw my worth and you saved me. You know that. That couplet, you saw my worth and you saved me. Oh, when I heard that, I was like, I'm pretty sure a lot of FEARNOTs are gonna cry, bawling, listening to the track once it drops tomorrow. And then it says, what is real, what's truly real to me, is an echo that rings with no reply. I shouted again and again, hundreds of times. And there's a last line from the highlight platter that I could not quite recognize. So we'll have to look at the full lyrics. But yeah, this song, I'm like, you cannot hear it. I can only hear. Incomplete, half-짜리. And then Chaewon is rapping during the chorus, I think. The like ad-lib / rapping style. Yeah, 가치. 나의 가치를 알아봐 주면서 넌 날 구해준 거 알아. And then it goes something like, What is real, 내게 진짜란 것이 답 없이 울리는 메아리. Yeah. Man, the emotional tone behind this song, Pearlies, My Oyster is the World, seems to mirror, as the article that I just read suggests, it reflects what Huh Yunjin expressed during LESSERAFIM's final Easy Crazy Hot concert in Korea, the second night. At the time, each member wrote a letter to the fans the night before at their hotel rooms, and then they read them aloud, one by one. And then Yunjin specifically shared a raw, super raw and honest moment, talking about how just a year earlier, she had been crying in a hotel room, asking, what do we do from here? Is there even a future ahead of us? I cannot tell what is real and what's fake anymore. And that uncertainty and pain clearly left a deep mark on her. So, when she spoke to fans at the concert, she said, what we have shared, our love and our time together is real. And when things get hard in the future, I hope you will remember today. Remember that there's something that makes your heart race and that there are people who believe in you. And I think the song is going to talk about that idea. Actually, yeah, let me read you what she said at the time in Korean. So I'm gonna read in English. She said, so I wasn't originally planning to say all this today, but as we performed yesterday and today, I kept feeling like I needed to share something really honest from the start, from the heart. It's been 2 years since our last tour, and so much has happened in that time, hasn't it? Yeah, so much. Including lots of comebacks, but also the hate train that these members and their fans had to go through. Now, let me get back to her letter. Even just thinking back to a year ago, around this exact time, I was in a hotel room, crying on the phone with someone from the company, Source Music or slash HYBE. I asked them, what are we going to do now? Is there even a future for us? What's real anymore? What's fake? I cannot tell. That's how lost I felt. I really couldn't see what was ahead of us. But what choice did we have? We had to keep going, right? Even when it felt like we were up against a wall we couldn't climb over, the direction we needed to go in was still the same, forward. So we just kept going and kept trying, because what else could we do? I'm sure last year wasn't easy for FEARNOT either. It must have been painful in its own way, right? Personally, that year brought out so many different emotions in me. Feelings I couldn't even begin to name. There were times it hurt so badly. And even though I wanted to give up, I couldn't. It felt too unfair. Because look at how many people still believe in us. Do you know how a pearl is made? And yes, I think the song is probably a reference to this point that she made here. She said, do you know how a pearl is made? Well, a grain of sand or some irritant gets inside a shell, and the oyster goes through a lot of pain and time to cover it, layer by layer, until that pain turns into a pearl. And just like that, I started to believe I will make my own pearl out of this pain. I made a promise to myself that no matter how hard things get, no matter how much hate comes our way, I won't lose my love. And I will protect FEARNOT with their love. So I held on to that. That if I try harder, grow stronger, and keep improving, I'll be able to protect the people and things I love. That's how I survived the past year. And somewhere along the way, walking through all that darkness, I realized it wasn't a cave. It was a tunnel with light at the end. I started to see glimmers of the light again. Through award shows, our fan meetings, our comeback. Through all of that, I felt FEARNOT's love again. And I'm pretty sure they felt it once again so much throughout their world tour, right? And they have already expressed that. Okay, back to the letter. She said, and our bond as members grew deeper than ever. And the future that once looked so far away suddenly started coming into view. I never imagined that I would have such a clear answer to the question I asked in that hotel room a year ago. What is real? Well, the answer is all around us right now. It's in this room. It's in the memories we fought so hard to create. In the passion, in the words we are sharing, in this warmth. This is all real. These aren't just words people throw around carelessly. They're the things we worked so hard to build. So what I want to tell you today is this. It's all real. The love we have given you, the time we have shared, everything. So if you ever hit a hard moment in your life, please remember today. Remember that there is something out there that can truly make your heart race. And remember, someone believes in you. We are one of those people. It's me and it's all of us here on the stage. We may not be able to walk only on flower paths, but one day we will. And we will keep moving toward that day together. Thank you for standing by us over the past year. From now on, we'll be the ones protecting you. Thank you. Yeah. It's beautiful. So the emotional tone will probably reflect it in this song. Pearlies. My oyster is the world. And I cannot wait to listen to the song and read the lyrics, line by line, to see how she, turned that letter into a song and what else she added to turn it into a dedication song dedicated to fans. All right. And speaking of Yunjin, let me end with this article that came out today on October 23rd. Huh Yunjin played a big role in shaping the group's upcoming release, making the songs more personal and relatable for fans. Since contributing lyrics to LESSERAFIM's debut album, she has steadily expanded her creative presence, now taking part in the production of their new single, Spaghetti, set to drop on October 24th. I think it might not be production, but a contribution that she made to the song. She first made her mark as a lyricist on Blue Flame, another classic by LESSERAFIM. Then took on main producing duties for No Celestial, another great song. Alongside group activities, she has released her not No Celestial, but 미치지 못하는 이유, which is Crazier of their mini fourth album. Sorry, let me correct myself. And she has released her own self-written songs like Raise Your Glass, I Doll, or I Not Equal to Doll, and 피어나도록, Love You Twice, and Blessing in Disguise, and Jellyfish. Turned personal hardships into strength through music. And her growing presence hasn't gone unnoticed. In July, she was officially selected as a member of the Recording Academy in the US, a recognition of the artistry on a global level. For the new single, Yunjin participated in both the title track Spaghetti and the B-side Pearlies, My Oyster is a World. The latter was inspired by something she shared during the group's Incheon concert in April. Okay, there you go. Her belief that, just like a pearl forming over time, she would create her own pearl and protect the fans who stand by her through the process. According to Source Music, her words became the foundation for the song's message. When asked about the direction she aimed for with this release, the agency said, "As you will see in the lyrics, it reflects her stronger inner self and her connection with the fans who have been part of that growth. We hope LESSERAFIM's sincerity comes through clearly." They added that when Yunjin writes or produces, she starts with storytelling and builds the music around that. And yeah, we've seen that from the second documentary that they released. Was it last year or this year? It was last year, right? And it says, for her solo songs, she focuses on expressing what she's personally felt and learned, being honest in her lyrics so listeners can truly connect. For group work, she carefully considers each member's personality and strengths, shaping the message and direction to highlight their individual charms. Very nice. So that was a quick look at why this comeback feels bold, playful, and yet deeply personal at the same time. And even though it's gonna be only 2 tracks, I feel like in terms of the quality and the message, it's gonna be more than enough. I'm so excited. So what do you guys think? What did you notice in the Spaghetti teaser video that stood out to you? And do you think, all the visuals and humor make this concept more powerful? And how do Yunjin's words behind Pearlies change the way you hear the song? Let me know your thoughts and by writing comments in the comment section. And as always, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye.